All righty, welcome to it. It is the Plan B After Show podcast, web exclusive.
The Empire.
We'll do it again here. Back in the day, it just works for it. See what happened on this day, June 8th. Back in the day, we actually can go way back. 1,391 years ago, back in 632, the Prophet Muhammad died. He was the guy that founded Islam. God, that's a long time ago.
I don't think we know what really happened back then.
Just kind of guessing.
No,
You know what?
Okay, my YouTube brain. Okay, this is all coming from YouTube knowledge, but there are a lot of scientists who are like, beyond core sampling, do we really know?
Well, you know what I've been watching a lot of, YouTube shorts and stuff. Again, my YouTube brain. And, Joe Rogan has some super interesting people. And, talking about the pyramids and even like the Amazon and like there was like advanced civilizations. And what a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot of, but there's a handful of people that are like, no, there was probably advanced civilizations that got wiped out.
Absolutely.
And then we basically started over again, or like, and they look at it's kind of weird because we don't know.
They've predicted that that's happened 6 times in the history of the earth. And
6 civilizations.
Yeah, and we're like hundreds of thousands of years past due in the rotation of it. So for instance, the Easter heads or whatever
Easter Island. You watch that one, the Easter Island one, right?
The Easter Island one. Is my screen wigging out? Because my screen's wigging out. Am I good?
No, you're good. You're still
okay. Cool. All right. So so they have bodies. All you can see is the head, but there's bodies underneath it that are buried. I don't know how deep. It's pretty damn deep, 30-some feet. Or I didn't even know. But what they were saying is that was one of the resets. Is a big flood came in and basically just buried it. Them. That's why only the heads are sticking out. They're stuck in a bunch of mud that came in at one point.
The other theory is that Easter, like the actual island, used to be like a booming metropolis. Like it was, it had trees all over it. It had abundant food and all this. But then basically they just used up all the resources on that island, made it desolate, and then they couldn't live anymore. They couldn't live there anymore. Right?
It's crazy.
And then Amazon, apparently there's like the Amazon had like these cities, like these amazing cities all over it. And then eventually they just got wiped out. They think that's because of the Spanish explorers brought smallpox. And there used to be like, I think they said, what was it like how many? I watched this one YouTube thing with the Joe Rogan podcast, but there was like millions of people in the Amazon.
Yeah.
And it was thriving and booming with all these cities. Yeah.
Total society reset. And you know what? When that stuff happens, like the plague or big floods or whatever happens, the dinosaurs were hit by a meteor.
You think it'll happen in our lifetime, the next one?
I mean, compared to the big picture, I mean, we are in such a little small portion of that. I would hope not. But we are like hundreds of thousands of years past due.
That freaks me out.
It does.
Man.
It does. It kind of freaks everybody out. And with all kind of the weird things happening.
Well, just the overall fact that like, okay, our species as we know it, this chunk civilization, like we're all going to be wiped out. Like what's, and again, I'm a Christian. I believe in that, but like, but I don't know, man. It's just so wild to think about. Like, what's going to happen, man?
Even in the Bible? It's written in the Bible.
Well, see, they do talk about the big flood. Maybe that big flood that they talk about in the Bible is,
it's part of that. It's part of that, religion.
Is that all part of it?
It's wild, man, to think about. But you know what? To get back to what we were talking about, as far as me not really, I mean, there are some things that are written, but even things that are written from back then could have been rewritten.
Well, what history is written by the victors, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Think about how much stuff has been lost because Genghis Khan just came through your village and wiped out everything and burnt all your Oh, for sure.
Your transcripts, everything is gone.
We know probably that much about history. About it, like it's not even. My fingers are closed because history is written by the victors, and we already know.
On the verge of proving that the Egyptians moved into the pyramids. They didn't build.
I've read that. I've read that too. I've seen it or watched documentaries about how like there was an advanced one and they came there. Well, they talk about the Sphinx how the way the Sphinx have they have water erosion.
Water
There
lines,
hasn't
on the
there
bottom of
yeah,
the Sphinx, which
it's
proves
been
that.
it's like the erosion that can only happen over periods of a lot of rain and everything
Well,
like
it's
that.
either
What I mean?
that or there's a great flood. A
Yeah.
great flood came through there and just.
Yep. Well, there used to be a water and all that stuff. It wasn't always a desert. It wasn't always a desert. So
It's
I don't
just
know, man.
so crazy, man. If you think
Yep.
about time in that aspect of
Yep.
we're both what, 37?
37. Yep.
37 years old, man, and that's nothing. That's
Nothing.
absolutely not. We know nothing.
That's not even. I don't even say it
Blink of an eye. It's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Even that, it might even be faster than that. It might even.
So here's another thing. If it does happen in our lifetime, you know how unfortunate we are.
Or are we fortunate?
You had hundreds of thousands of years, forward and back, to miss this,
to figure this out, right? Or is it good, Hunter? Because then everyone's dead. No one's living and doing fun stuff without us.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
If I'm dead,
we're all dead. If I'm going out, you're going out.
I'll be floating right by you.
Yeah, right by me. Yep, just dead bodies floating around in space. Wild. So yeah. So again, that was 1,391 years ago. Let's see. 178 years ago, Andrew Jackson, the 7th president, died. Okay. 162 years ago, 1861, Tennessee seceded from the Union.
Sweet. I have nothing to add to that.
41 years ago, 1982, Baseball Hall of Famer Leroy Satchel Paige died at the age of 75. Yeah. Nothing to add on that one?
Nope.
Oh, here you go. 39 years ago.
Okay.
39 years ago, Ghostbusters and Gremlins debuted in theaters in 1984.
There we go. Now you found the one we can
got
talk
something
about.
there?
Ghostbusters and Gremlins, huh?
Ghostbusters.
Great movie.
Gremlins is okay.
Gremlins is okay.
I'm on the fence with Gremlins. Ghostbusters is good. I appreciate. Yeah, I appreciate Ghostbusters.
Ghostbuster falls into the category of me where I understand why it's such a great movie, but you watch it now and you're just, it's still great. It's still, I'm not taking anything away from Ghostbusters, but
maybe doesn't quite hold up in the comedy realm of some of the other ones.
It's just it's amazing to me, of its time, one of the biggest movies ever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But stack that up to the movies now that have been out and that are around. I mean, obviously, because you go with time and movies get better, but it's just when people say it's the best movie ever.
Yeah.
You say it's the best movie ever of its time. Follow it with that.
Yeah. Of the era. Well, I'm kind of the same way.
The best movies of its era. That's a great way to put it.
I'm kind of the same way with because I'm a huge SNL fan, and when people talk about, oh yeah, you can't beat the originals, Belushi and Aykroyd, I'm like, nope, that's not nearly as good.
You're wrong.
It's not. I mean, I'll give them credit for being trailblazers, but
Lorne Michaels will tell you that. He'll tell you that the Farley and the Sandler and that generation was the best.
Well, and then what people do is, Farley, Belushi was his idol. We wouldn't, but it's nah, you can't do that though. That doesn't mean that Belushi was better. So, you know what I mean? I don't know.
So the second time they put Chris Farley in rehab, because he idolized Belushi so much, they pulled him aside and said, "Hey, you need to slow down. You've already passed."
Yeah.
Belushi, you've already succeeded Belushi. You don't have anything else to prove. That they said that to him.
Yeah, you don't need to follow Belushi to the grave. No. You don't need to do everything he did. So yeah. But yeah, sometimes just because it was first doesn't mean it was better. All right, that's chalk it up to that. But again, Ghostbusters, Gremlins, both good movies, both very good movies. I like it. That's pretty much it. I think we wrapped that up for today. Back in the day, June 8th. Good enough. All right. We'll see you next time for more of the Plan B After Show podcast, web exclusive with Brock and Hunter. Bye.